that has to be the next step on the ladder.
It's a lovely ball in there towards Rafinha and Munir. It's a well-worked goal for Barcelona. But it has been coming. They've been on top. And some fine football there has brought about the breakthrough, and it's Munir El Haddadi who puts Barca a goal in front in California.
He had an earlier chance, a shot from the edge of the box, which he couldn't take. He skied that, but on this occasion, Barcelona worked the ball into the 18-yard box with real quality. From the throw-in possession, the diagonal ball to the back post, and then the awareness, just a nod down to Munir to head in from 2 yards. The Spurs defence not marking, caught out. Real quality goal for Barcelona.
Inside a quarter of an hour, champions of Spain hit the front. And Munir, who spent the past 2 years away on loan at Valencia, and then last year playing with Alaves, will be a big part player in truth with Barcelona's first team setup. But he was there with the poacher's finish at the end of that lovely bit of football, involving Sergio Roberto and then Rafinha. And Spurs once again find themselves behind in this International Champions Cup.
Well, people sometimes say it's easy to score goals like that, but you have to get into the position. But the quality of the ball, Roberto's diagonal, and then Rafinha's awareness, he can't score from the tight angle, nods it back across the open goal for Munir to arrive and head in. Superb start from Barcelona.
We'll see now if Spurs can show their powers of recovery again tonight, as they did on Wednesday in San Diego against Roma. A little bit subdued so far.
Sometimes it's always difficult to get going, Joe, when you don't have the ball. You're chasing, you're working hard to retrieve the ball. When you have it, if you give it away cheaply or needlessly, it can be really, really frustrating.
As Aurier's ball in, the deflection came the way of Llorente. Aurier with a good cross. Nearly came the way of Lucas Moura. It was touched away by Semedo. Carter Vickers goes back to Ben Davies. Paolo Gazzaniga, the man in goal for Spurs this evening. Michel Vorm was the starter in their opening game here. Hugo Lloris, of course, will be the main goalkeeper when the campaign gets going for real. As long as they keep him, there has been some talk of him being linked with a move away. That's what Spurs have done so well over the past few years. Tie down their big players and new contracts. There have been 5 this summer given new deals.
Yeah, it's all part of the plan going forward, the long-term plan of keeping the nucleus of a young, talented squad together.
Good football again here by Barcelona. Andre Gomez back for Denis Suarez. We should also mention the new contract given to the coach this year as well, Mauricio Pochettino, a new 5-year deal for him. Longley. Here's Miranda. It's not maybe an injury been sustained there by, I think it's Denis Suarez, who's just hobbled off. Barcelona may be forced into their first change here inside the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, didn't actually see what happened to him, Joe, but he's left the field of play. Barcelona down to 10 men at the moment.
Nearly given away there by Rafinha, won it back pretty swiftly. Playing with 10 men won't be a big hindrance to a team like Barcelona, but they will have a chance to make that change now. Swiftly. Playing with 10 men won't be a big hindrance to a team like Barcelona. Separates these two sides, Munir, to make that change.
You just see that he gets the run on Carter Vickers, who just for a second switches off. He follows the diagonal ball to the back post, and Munir quickly attacks the space that is left and gets into a position for Rafinha just to nod the ball back into his path. Really well crafted goal.
Just about kept onside, Munir. Lucas just behind Llorente, nearly came then for Son.
Comes off Semedo at the back. He's done a good job in that right back position, covering at the back post. This time ricochets off of him for Spurs corner.
The first set-piece test this to Barcelona.
I do think Spurs have a threat, have an advantage, an aerial advantage here. If you want someone to deliver, Eriksen is your man.
Eriksen's outswinger played with pace. It was towards Carter Vickers. Here's Lucas. One back by Rafinha, and the break might be on there for Barcelona. Here's Arthur. Support to his right. This is Semedo. Good strong play by him. It was good defending though by Carter Vickers. The last touch off Semedo to goal kick.
Yeah, brilliant from Carter Vickers, because the counter-attack was on. 4v3 for Barcelona. Semedo joining the attack again. One-on-one with Carter Vickers. That's excellent defending.
Doesn't appear as though there's going to be a change in system from Barcelona, with the change forced upon them with Denis Suarez having gone off. By the looks of things, they're still yet to make the change to get back to 11 men once again. Here's Aurier. It's come out to Son, who controlled it well. Looking for Llorente. There's Marlon with the header. And here is that change then. It's taken a while. The alteration will see Carlos Perez coming off the bench wearing number 11. He's just 20. One of those players brought up for the Barcelona B squad.
So it looks as if Suarez had picked up some sort of hamstring injury to the back of the left thigh.
So not the sort of start that Barcelona would have wanted in that sense, but they are a goal up. They've had to make their first change. A reminder that 11 changes can be made by both teams in this International Champions Cup. So we will see plenty of shuffling of the two packs as the game goes on.
I thought it was interesting the other night that Manchester United, Jose Mourinho played with the starting 11 as long as he could before making substitutes. A different sort of type of approach, getting minutes under the belt. Obviously, Mauricio Pochettino, that block of 6, the defensive 6 that he has starting tonight, you just wonder how long they will play. Again, giving them the conditioning needed for the start of the Premier League season.
Well, they just brought on Carlos Perez there, Barcelona, but they're actually still playing with 10 men because there's an injury now being sustained by the Portuguese Andre Gomes. So that's 2 of their midfield players in trouble. Denis Suarez has been taken off. Wait and see whether Andre Gomes can return himself, but again they're playing a man short. In some ways a useful exercise for them. But
absolutely, yeah, it is, but it's not something you want
ideal
at this stage of the season, especially if those players have picked up injuries. As a player, Joe, picking up an injury in pre-season is so frustrating because you never actually make that up. There he is.
yeah.
Again, he's looking as if he's picked up some sort of strain to the back of his left thigh.
I suppose mentally, from a player's point of view, how much do you want to get yourself up to full speed, but also with, as you say, the back of your mind, not wanting to cause yourself any injuries or any long-term damage.
Absolutely, it is all about getting those minutes in, getting the work done, getting yourself on the start line for the start of the season.
Tottenham season, which starts away at Newcastle in 2 weeks' time now. It's come around very fast this year. As for Barcelona, they have a Super Cup in Spain to play against Sevilla before their league campaign begins against Alaves at the Camp Nou. Here's Rafinha. Semedo could be in here. It's a good save that by Gazzaniga. Plenty of power behind that shot from Semedo.
He's joined the attack so often already in this opening 25 minutes as Semedo, and this time tries to beat Gazzaniga at that near post. Fierce shot, well parried wide.
So here is the change then, and Riqui Puig is the player who comes off the bench for Barcelona. He's just 18, seen as one of the biggest talents in their famous academy. Here's the corner in towards Marbon. It's away by Luke Amos for Tottenham. There's Puig's first involvement. Lucas with the header. Sissoko. He was Tottenham's record buy when he was brought in from Newcastle, £30 million a couple of years back. Davinson Sanchez now is their record signing. Signed from Ajax last year. He's on the bench for them here tonight.
And he had a fantastic first season, I have to say. I think because of the situation with Alderweireld, maybe played more games than perhaps was expected at the start last season, but when he did, he acquitted himself so well. Maybe one of the reasons that Spurs are considering taking money for Alderweireld before he goes out of contract at the end of next season.
Here's Lucas. And Miranda. Puig. Marbon. Now Longley. He's 23, he's yet to win his first senior cap for France. A difficult squad to break into. It's World Cup winners, and they left behind so many wonderful players who couldn't force their way to that 23-man World Cup squad. Semedo, great Christian touch from him. Rafinha, Semedo again. That's some game so far. It's a very good block.
Again across to make a really good block, but Semedo has been fantastic getting forward on that right side.
And a free kick won by Arthur. He's been brilliant so far, Nelson Semedo. Also a player who missed out playing at the World Cup. He has been capped by Portugal, but not in their final 23. Miranda. It's a good switch of play. Out to Rafinha. Cross goes Walker-Peters. This is Arthur. Good effort. Oh, it's a wonderful goal. Something superb there from Arthur. The new boy from Brazil, 21 years of age. And the fans here perhaps seeing a future star. A magnificent goal, and it's 2-0 Barcelona.
Well, what a way to introduce yourself to your new supporters. That was a goal of the highest quality. The first one was well crafted. Again, the big switch from left to right. Rafinha this time just cuts back on his favoured left foot and then rolls it beautifully to Arthur. He has time to take a touch, but when he takes that touch, he sets himself up for the finish, and the finish is exquisite. Away to the right-hand corner, giving the goalkeeper absolutely no chance. Two superb goals from Barcelona. Real test now for Spurs.
Absolutely sublime from Arthur. He signed a 6-year deal with Barca for a fee around about 30 million euros. It was a deal which was announced back in March. This is his first outing in that famous jersey, and what a way to mark it.
And they have deserved it, Joe. You've got to say, the way they've controlled possession, the way they've crafted the two goals. They've lost two players through injury. It's almost seamless the way that they just introduce two substitutes. It doesn't change anything in terms of the way that they play. This is where Mauricio Pochettino will learn a lot about his young players that are out there for him this evening as well.
Here's to the big game, to the growers of the sod in which it's played,
One of the best
to the makers of stadiums made of
so far this summer. Before the half-hour mark, a buffer of a 2-goal lead now for Barcelona.
Try things.
Really
Definitely, yeah.
Witnessing inside the Rose Bowl tonight.
Fantastic turnout here in Southern California, and it's in a contest again.
Any finger of blame towards Walker Peters, who's maybe a bit slow to push out to Rafinha when that switch of play was on.
Rafinha does really well. He's cutting back on his favourite left foot, but then having the awareness just to roll that ball beautifully back to Arthur, who finishes it sublimely, as you said. Yeah, it's been a big test. Sabino's got forward at every opportunity. You see it here. He takes that touch, almost spots the ball, but then the fish is absolute.
Really no let-up for Real Madrid's 3 games against Barcelona to come in this competition, and then in the two-legged spell.
Slight thought the chance might have gone when he took that first touch, but the way he set himself absolutely perfectly.
Well, he just had that. He had that awareness that he had the time to take the touch to set himself up, and he certainly took it to great effect.
There was a foul there on Walker Peters by Rafinha, so a chance now for the free kick for Tottenham to try and halve this deficit.
Well, Joe, they need something. One, they need possession of the ball. They need to try to take the sting away from Barcelona. Silason's been really untroubled in that Barcelona goal. Eriksen now with an opportunity, maybe just to test him.
Well, we all know about the set-piece prowess of Eriksen over his years with Tottenham. Can he produce something here? Eriksen's effort. Oh, it's a good one too. It required saving.
Well, it was the right side for the goalkeeper, a good height for him, and he made sure parrying it clear.
First save that's been forced upon Jasper Siversen. Here's Llorente. Now Lucas. He's going to come back for Amos. All the way back with Ben Davies. Serge Aurier. Oh, he's done well. Aurier goes on. And he had 4 players there waiting for a ball in, but it was picked off by Siversen. Now he has to get back pretty smartly, Aurier, because down this left-hand side there's a chance of Barcelona to try and get some men forward. Sissoko there is now pulled up.
He's pulled up with a hamstring injury there. He's getting back to cover Aurier, who's left upfield. But just as he comes out to step out to close down, he pulls up immediately. That could well be another hamstring injury. Just maybe fatigue at this time of the season with the physical work that the players are doing. Not quite ready for the explosive movements in games, and he pulled up immediately.
This is not what Spurs fans, or indeed Mauricio Pochettino, will be wanting to see.
You see Llorente and Aurier in discussion there. I think that's off the back of Aurier's cross to the goalkeeper. Llorente saying, I'm in a position at the back post, you need to find me there. Eriksen's free kick, which is on target, which tests Cillessen for the first time this evening, but a comfortable save for the Barcelona keeper. Aurier did so well to get into that crossing position. That's where it's so frustrating if you're a forward player. You get into a situation where you want to cross to attack. He puts it into the hands of the goalkeeper.
So the change then, we'll see. No chances taken, rightly so, by Spurs, and Sissoko going off and being replaced by George Kevin Nkudu, French winger, who is back with Spurs again now, having been at Burnley on loan for the second half of last season. Just hope that injury for Sissoko is not as long-term as it could possibly be. It could be a matter of weeks, maybe a month or so, if it is that hamstring.
Yeah, you don't want any period of time out at all. At this time of the season, it's so vital to get that preparation under your belt. Sitting out through injury, sometimes you never make that up as long as the season goes on.
So funny old first half here in many ways. We've seen 2 goals for Barca, one of them absolutely outstanding, but 3 players forced off due to injuries. The perils of pre-season.
Absolutely. But we've also seen glimpses of the highest quality from Barcelona, in particular the way that they crafted the 2 goals.
There's Nkudu to battle for the first time. Oh, lovely bit of skill by Rafinha. Bought the foul of Eriksen.
He's had a good first half as well, assisting for both the goals. A naturally left-sided player playing on the right. Certainly asked a lot of questions of Kyle Walker-Peters, the young Spurs left-back.
They've been champions of Spain in 3 of the past 4 years, Barcelona. They won the title at a canter last season, a long way ahead of Atletico and Real Madrid. Bow out in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, though, off the back of that collapse against Roma, that remarkable second leg at the Olympico.
We heard Mauricio Pochettino talking about maybe a change of system. Possibly he could introduce Davinson Sanchez as a 3 defensive system, 2 wing-backs pushing Kyle Walker-Peters and Aurier further up in their second half to put more bodies into that midfield area, which undoubtedly Barcelona have dominated.
It was a system they used a few times last year, wasn't it, when Dyer would drop back into a back 3. Eriksen, ricochet didn't quite come the way of Nkudu. Semedo was there for Barcelona.
Nkudu's gone out to that left-hand side, not only as a left-sided player, but also, I think, just to try to thwart the threat of Semedo, who's got forward at every opportunity. It's going to be a good contest now to see whether Nkudu can keep Semedo back, or whether Semedo is still going to charge forward and ask questions of Nkudu defensively.
Carter Vickers. He's been capped 3 times now by the USA national team. It's a lovely ball there to Nkudu. That tussle. Oh, that's a strong tackle by Rafinha. There was a cry of pain there by Nkudu, but he bounced up straight away.
Yeah, it was a strong challenge from Rafinha, but well timed.
Going to be a Spurs corner. a quick one from Eriksson, trying to catch Barca out. That's Son. Played in, but into a pretty tame area. Citizen was there, and he's dispatched it quickly. Almost a wonderful pass. Gatzinger came out. There could be a shot on there for Harvey, you know.
I wondered if he was going to take it on. You're right, Joe. As it rolled to him, it looked as if it was inviting him to strike it back into the open goal.
And he can strike a ball. We saw that, what, 25 minutes or so ago. Nearly a magnificent pass, wasn't it, from Citizen to set Barca away. But here's Nkudu now, in towards Llorente. That was a ball which was crying out to be attacked. There's Llorente again. Oh, that's a mistake. And here is a chance now for Rafinha. Well, Carter Vickers not for the first time, showing terrific recovery pace there for Spurs.
Yeah, that's the third time defensively. He's been exemplary as Carter Vickers.
Well, he's just 20, Cameron Carter Vickers. Born in Southend. His father was a former NBA player.
Well, he's made a couple of good tackles, certainly 2 really good interceptions. Defended one-on-one against Semedo.
He's played 4 senior games for Spurs in competitive games, all in cup matches. He looks to be the part, doesn't he? Sergio Roberto. Here's Longley. Spread wide by Puig. Rafinha. Himself is back from a loan spell. He was with Inter in the second half of last season. Longley. Miranda.
Great management of the game for Barcelona. 2-0 up. They know the half-time break's coming. Frustrating Spurs, trying to just draw them out.
Longley. There's that pass again. It's been a regular weapon. And Rafinha has done really well to bring it down. Up against Walker-Peters. It's come off Davies. Aurier with the header. And Spurs escape there. Here's Son.
They really have used that diagonal well in crafting the 2 goals. Almost drawing Spurs to the right side of the field, switching play from left to right quickly to Rafinha. He finds himself in a lot of space on that right-hand side, and he's been, well, destructive there with the header for the first goal and the lay-back for the second.
Special venue this for Rafinha. His father, Mazzino, was a World Cup winner here with Brazil in '94. That shootout against the Italians. Roberto Baggio missed that decisive spot kick to see Brazil win the title.
Was that the World Cup final when Dinah Ross missed the
That was the opening ceremony, wasn't it, for the same World Cup? One of the more bizarre World Cup moments down the years.
It's amazing the things you remember. He's had a good first half, he really has.
Quite some football family, actually. His older brother is Thiago, former Barca player now at Bayern Munich. International with Spain. Here's Ericsson. And Kudu for Spurs. And the Llorente in the box, Son arriving now as well. We're back with Ben Davies. Expected to have just 1 minute of the first half additional time. Amos. Singled out for praise by Pochettino for his performance against Roma, but he's not really been able to assert himself in this game tonight.
Well, he's not had the opportunity to get on the ball as much as he would like.
Nice touch there by Llorente. Here's Son, looking for Ericsson. It was an intricate pass and didn't quite come off there for Spurs.
Yeah, they just haven't found that quality in the final third that certainly they possess. Final passes have been pretty poor by their standards.
So we are now into added time. See a foul there on Juan Miranda, joined from Real Betis 4 years ago. Regular member of the Barcelona B team. A B team which was relegated last year from the second tier in Spain. Many of those players were performing in the UEFA Youth League, which was won by Barca last year. It's an absolute conveyor belt of talent, that La Masia Academy.
Well, you have to buy into the Barcelona way. You have to be incredible talent and ability to even have the opportunity. But you have to have a superb mentality to take on the challenge and try to get into this team.
Well, that's our time then at the Rose Bowl in California. And a quite wonderful first half for Barcelona, capped by that man's goal, Arthur. An outstanding strike on his first appearance in the famous jersey of Barca. That was the second goal after Munir had scored the first after a quarter of an hour. It's been a first half too where we've seen several players forced off due to injuries, but in terms of the scoreline, it's a convincing lead here at the break for the Giants from Catalonia. The half-time is imminent between Barcelona and Spurs. That's the half-time scoreline. Barca 2 up. El Haddadi with the opening goal, and it was added to in quite exquisite fashion by Arthur. So it's a long way back now for Spurs in terms of their efforts on goal. They were few and far between. 2 shots, only 1 on target. The free kick from Christian Eriksen. 9 attempts on goal for Barcelona, who are 2 up, but on the balance of play, perhaps deserve to have an even healthier half-time advantage. And we expect now we'll have a whole host of changes.